Hi everyone, happy Sunday. It's June 4th, I believe, Sunday afternoon. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm actually sitting here in our vehicle that we just had such a victory and a victorious afternoon that I want to share it with you while it's still fresh and in the moment. So if I may, I'd like to share this with you. Friday night, we had such victory and power and authority standing in the Father's presence that it was absolutely overwhelming, and I was undone. Saturday comes, we hold the victory, and by Saturday afternoon, the enemy decides to come and wreck that peace and joy. Like most people have not experienced that, right? Okay. So I hope this encourages some marriages and maybe couples, even single people, the story I'm about to tell you, which is called the carrot cake love. Yes, I said carrot cake love. And so let's continue with the story. So I had to, in the past week, is learning to not just stand in the joy and the peace, but not allowing to give it up. I think we give that up way too easy to the enemy when something gets thrown our way. And the enemy thinks he can thwart the plans of the Lord, but he cannot. Biblically, it tells us he cannot. Nothing can. The plans of God will stand. So I stood in that and had victory, and hopefully stood in that for my husband, who was going through something also. And, you know, there's one other thing I found out was, and I prayed about that today, was I could have stayed home and stayed in that peace and joy and that happy and safe place and not have gone through this trial Saturday. And the Lord spoke to me this morning when I asked him about what that was about. And he said, well, yes, you could have. He said, but then who would have taken care of my brother? See, there's a brotherly and a sisterly love that we need to sometimes war and fight, and sometimes just to stand and love on the people around us. So we are joined in this together, hip by hip, arm by arm, mind by mind, heart by heart. So Sunday comes, and we go to church, which is today. And we go out with another couple for lunch, and another person with us, and a lovely person. And after we're done with lunch, which was wonderful, a wonderful church service that we had. Yeah, quite an incredible day, incredible weekend actually. Most people don't think it's an incredible weekend when you have trials. I do. They're not pleasant to go through, but man, the victory that comes. So this is what happens on after we eat. We decided to, across the way was a coffee shop. And I knew the young lady that that was with us enjoys that. Even though I'm not a real big coffee drinker, I've given that up for tea. I wanted to go. Now, mind you, this is not my plan. This is a plan of the Father. So you'll see the victory and what happens in the end. So I'm going to try to speak this quickly so I don't make this video too long. But I encourage all marriages. I encourage the people that have targets on their back and don't understand why, is because we're standing in the righteousness of God, unmovable, unshakable, standing in His Word no matter what happens. And we stand for others and those who we love, and we're a light for others to see. So it's quite amazing what He did. So we go into the coffee shop, and I decided to get a skinny cappuccino. So because I saw the dessert tray, and I'm admitting, in the counter in the bakery, and they had a carrot cake, which I thought I would like a slice of that. Well, this was so big I thought we could share it. So I said to my husband, amongst all the little noise and chatter going on, can we get that? Why don't we just get one? Babe, we can share it with everybody. Who needs all this sugar? We can just share it. I don't know if they want it or not, but let's just grab it for our table. Ooh, look over there. There's a chocolate caramel one, pie or cake or cheesecake it was. Let's get one of those too. So get one of these and go on. That's plenty. My husband always overdoes it, which I love him for, but we didn't need all that sugar, so just get that. So he says, go ahead, go to the table, all the ladies, and we'll meet you over there. Well, we go over the table and we're chit-chatting, and along comes the dessert. And I look at the table and everything's fine. Then all of a sudden I notice I don't see any carrot cake. but there's 5 other new desserts there. But I really had my mind on this carrot cake. Clearly, my husband had to hear me because I thought he acknowledged me, and therefore it told me that he cared about me and he cared about what I wanted. But there's no carrot cake on the table. Emotionally, my emotions take over. I'm being honest here. And I whisper kind of my husband, "Where's the carrot cake?" "Oh, you want carrot cake? I didn't know that. I can get carrot cake." "Well, how can he not know that? We're standing at the counter pointing it out and together, and he said he's going to order it." So emotionally would tell me, and ladies, I think we've all been through this. Doesn't he care about me? Didn't he hear what he said? Didn't he acknowledge me? Was it not that important for something his wife wanted? Were others standing before me more important to please others than I? Was it just a misunderstanding? What was it? But this is a form of love and love language for me. The caring, the little things that make the difference. So he says, he wants to get the carrot cake for me. It's nah, that's okay. We have plenty. It's enough. Even though I still wanted the carrot cake. But it wasn't about the carrot cake. It was the attention, the attentiveness, the kindness, the telling me that I care about you and love you. Although my husband was more than willing to get up and go get it, inside me said, "Nah, it's okay. It's a little thing. Let it go. It's okay." And I told him, "It's okay. It's all right." We could have been embarrassed. We could have started a big argument at the table. See, these are the little things that the enemy comes to try to do to separate you, to cause any kind of miscommunication between a couple, to make it uncomfortable with people you're around, and that we still have to smile because we're in religion, maybe? No. Let's get real. So these are things that, hey, maybe later, behind closed doors, ladies, we're going to give our man a piece of our mind. So all these things could have happened, but if I would have followed my emotions, I chose not to at that moment. I said, it's just not that important. It's a little thing. It's very little. What was important to me was my husband sitting next to me and love. And I chose to do that, but I had to choose to keep the peace and the joy and not give it away to the enemy and not follow my emotions who are not leading me in the right way. That is how much we have to stand in Christ and what is real and true. And this isn't just about mercy about grace, as I'll continue with my story. So the carrot cake. We eat it and we all share and everybody enjoys. And what I find out is we go outside and we're still talking to say goodbye. Another 10 minutes here, another 10 minutes there. It's just our goodbyes are long. And this cool wind and breeze comes by. And just as I said to my friend, I feel like and we both say at the very exact same time, a refreshing wind that came by. And I felt like we all just dropped the week's garbage off at our table. And the fresh wind came because we all had a complete different mindset, even though we thought we had a great mindset going in. And so I ended up having a conversation, the ladies with ladies and the men's with the men. But the young lady that was struggling with a few things in life. And God was actually using the carrot cake confession to help her. And for her not to be led by her emotions, but led by the truth of God. This is the enemy's destructive nature against us. I have the conversation. We leave. I get the victory because I stayed in Christ and stayed in love. My husband, when we leave, he puts his arm around my shoulders and directs me to the car. That meant everything to me. That showed me that he cared and that he loved. We had the victory. The enemy didn't win, and he knew nothing that was going on. That's what was important to me. So we get in the car, and I end up telling my husband how I prayed over this young lady. And as I'm doing that, I'm understanding the strength I'm given for her and the trial God's putting me through and the confession and the testimony of the carrot cake and my emotions to help her through life. See, God's got a plan. The enemy can't thwart the plan of God. We all come out in the victory if we just stay and abide in Christ. He will tell you all if you just seek him and stand in that place. So I tell my husband this, and as he's driving, I see in his face a whole different look that I've never seen before. And he's amazed at what I'm telling him. And he says, honey, he says, I swear, I didn't see you point or hear you say the carrot cake. I knew you liked chocolate and caramel, and I only saw one piece left, and I almost jumped over to the case to get that last piece just for you, because I knew you'd enjoy it. So you see, my perception of thinking that I wasn't important enough, or my voice wasn't loud enough, or he didn't care what I thought, was my perception and my limited by my emotions and not truth, where he would have gone through anything to get what I wanted and what I enjoyed that would bring joy. And so my point is, watch your perceptions, because perceptions and emotions and limited emotions and perceptions are not God's. He's unlimited, and he loves us, and we have the victory and the joy if we just stand in him. Bless you today. Bless you.